This is the first time in over 100 years, since the 1800s, that something like this has happened, where the sitting president does not attend the inauguration. Truly unprecedented, but that is on par, like I said, for the Trump administration, because they have broken every rule basically as far as the norms go. And frankly, that's why we elected him to do so. So the president will be passing here as president of the United States, flying in on Air Force One as president of the United States. The only reason why it is Air Force One is because he's on board the aircraft. Typically, when they get on the helicopter at the Capitol steps and then they get on the plane, it is not Air Force One anymore because the new president has been inaugurated. But Donald Trump and President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania will be passing by as president and First Lady. So you're going to be witnessing history here on Right Side Broadcasting Network, is for the first time in over 120 years, likely more, something like this will be happening. And you have a front row seat to it because of Right Side Broadcasting Network, and we're here on the ground. So thank you so much for watching. It means a lot. You are witnessing history here today. We are covering history. We don't know that next time something like this is going to happen. Like I said, truly unprecedented, and we are here in West Palm Beach, Florida. So it's amazing to see everything that's happening here today. Trump signs still on the pole, the power poles, people out here supporting the president. Every car that has passed by has pretty much given a honk. I think there's only been one hater I've heard pass by. So the support here in this part of the town is overwhelming for the president of the United States. And who knows what will happen with the president going forward in the future. Obviously, today his term ends at 12 o'clock. And it's sad. None of us wanted to see that happen. That's certainly not the result we were hoping for. But we don't know what the future looks like for Donald Trump. We can't speculate that. Certainly that's up to him. But he said basically something along the lines of, we'll be back. You'll see us here again. Grace, what was the exact quote? What was the words he said? He said, President Trump, he said, you're going to see us again soon?
Oh, yeah, let me pull it up. Sorry.
I know Grace did a great Instagram post, which I happened to notice in between me being off camera, and it said,
goodbye, we love you, we will be back in some form, he said.
We'll be back in some form. So some form, who knows what that is? I certainly can't tell you. I'm done speculating things. I stopped speculating after November 3rd, okay? I was kind of speculative leading up to then, but since then I've stopped speculating. I go solely based on facts and on objective facts. So I'm not going to speculate anymore. Who knows how he'll be back and what form he'll be back, but he said he will be back. So we could take those words for what they are, and I will allow you to decipher what he means by that. But certainly an exciting day here, witnessing history as the greatest president of our lifetime and modern history of the United States of America is going to be passing by here to finish off his term here in Palm Beach, Florida, at his Mar-a-Lago estate. So truly something incredible. And, you know, as we think back of what the Trump administration has accomplished, the Trump message, really, make America great again, is a universal message. It does not apply to one single person. It does not apply to one man or one president. What it is a blueprint for how candidates should be laying out their platforms moving forward. Donald Trump has shaken up the Republican Party. He has shaken things up like never before in our country's history. So what he did was he laid out a blueprint for candidates moving forward, for congressional candidates, for mayoral candidates, for Senate candidates, for presidential candidates. If you want to run in the Republican Party, if you want to be a part of the GOP and have the establishment of the GOP and be a true conservative, well, then you're going to have to go off the MAGA blueprint or the America First blueprint, which Donald Trump has laid out. And we don't know. Maybe Donald Trump will make a 2024 presidential run. We cannot say for certain at this time. He hasn't said that. But what he certainly is going to be sure is that the person who has control as the nominee in 2024 will have that America First, that MAGA blueprint as part of their campaign. Look, Donald Trump, whether you want to believe it or not, he is the leader of this party by far. I was in a car the other day. I was in a car the other day, and I was talking to somebody, and they said Mitch McConnell is the leader of the Republican Party. Now, while that may technically be true, that he has the most seniority within our party, it's actually false. Donald Trump is the leader of this party by far, okay? And any other claim is ridiculous and it is false, okay? Donald Trump is the leader of this party. He has control of the way people will vote in this party because what he has done for the people. He has delivered results, unlike Mitch or any of them have done their entire terms combined. So Donald Trump is the leader of this party. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. And that is clear just today by all the people who have showed up here. If Mitch McConnell was coming by in an SUV, I don't think this many people would be lined up. You might have one or two, if that. So there's not going to be the support for Mitch that there is for President Trump. And we support President Trump 100% here at Right Side Broadcasting. Grace, go ahead and tell us a little bit of what your thoughts are about the atmosphere here today. I mean, really, it's something that is like incredible. I've never seen this for any other person. Like, there's people all over the place here, and it's only going to get more busy as time moves forward.
Yes, it's only going to get more busy. And I love the atmosphere here. These are the true patriots who have been here for the past, I don't know how long every single person has supported President Trump, but I can assume that it's been a while and that they're dedicated. You know, they're going to send President Trump off. Even if I was not reporting for Right Side Broadcasting, I would be here sending the president off because he means that much to us and that much to our country. He has worked relentlessly and he does not deserve the hate that he's gotten. So anyway, that said, the atmosphere is amazing. It makes you feel so good. I hear someone over here in a truck and they have a whole bunch of Trump flags and thin blue line flags there. They're playing his playlist, his rally playlist. So just memories, you know, of all the rallies that we've been to. And it's been a lot of rallies, you guys. But I also heard God Bless the USA. And that song to me, it always gets me whenever President Trump walked out to God Bless the USA. Whenever I hear it now, all I think about is this country and the American dream and, you know, all of our freedoms. This is the most free country. This is the country so many people have fought and died for. So many of our military service members and law enforcement officers and people who died serving this country. So we owe it to them to honor this country and to fight for it. Honestly, that's the least we can do is to fight for it politically. So we need to continue to.
Of course, metaphorically speaking.
Metaphorically, you know, I guess I should clarify. When I say fight for Trump, I'm not saying go and, you know, literally physically fight. But what I am saying is to go out and get involved in your local elections. Become poll watchers. Apparently, we need more GOP poll watchers since, you know, we saw what happened in November and we can't allow that to happen again. So that is the one thing we need to safeguard more than anything else, in my opinion, in this country is our elections. Because without free and fair elections, we will never accomplish the change that that we want to. The majority will never actually rule if we do not safeguard our free and fair elections. So it is so vital that let's become poll watchers. Let's volunteer. It's one day of your time. They actually pay you pretty well. So anyway, midterms are coming up. They'll start campaigning for midterms probably by the end of this year. So figure out who's running, back the candidates that support freedom. You know, we need to do these kinds of things. We have to do the hard work, and it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of patience, but we can do it, you guys. We cannot let this MAGA movement go to waste. We have so much energy and we have so much love, honestly. We have so much love in this movement. You know, I've heard rallies described by many people as like going to church. It's like you're around all the people who they want the same thing that you do for this country. They love you no matter who you are, what race you are, what gender, anything like that. This is truly the diverse party, the party of diversity. And President Trump has accomplished so much for all minorities, particularly throughout the past 4 years. He reached historically low unemployment rates for Blacks, Hispanics, and Asians, and a 65-year low for women. So he always says I can't forget about the women. So all these groups that the left says they support President Trump has done more for them than anybody else. So we're going to continue fighting for that, and we're going to see what happens over the next couple of years. I'm not losing faith, and you guys shouldn't either. I get a lot of messages on Instagram of people, you know, they feel so down, but the thing is, that's never going to get us anywhere. We cannot feel sad, and President Trump isn't going anywhere. Like he said earlier, he is going to come back in some form, but we can't wait for the day. We can't wait for the day he comes back. We have to keep working. He taught us how to work. if we're being honest. He taught us that what it takes in order to accomplish the things we want. So we need to learn from him. We don't necessarily need to be as, upfront or like in your face about it like he was. However, we can do it your own way, but we still need to use those tactics to accomplish the change that we want to see peacefully.
Of course. And no way, in any way, does Right Side Broadcasting condone political violence. We're just going to put that little disclaimer out there. The president, it's not a virtue of the president either. He said that yesterday in his speech. He does not condone political violence of any form, because then at that point, what does that make us? It makes us just as bad as the people who act on political violence. And we saw how that terrorized our cities all summer long. We certainly do not want that. So in no way are we actually saying fight or anything like that. We're just saying be 100% supportive of the cause of which you're following. Yeah, do the work. Put in the work. Look, it's not fun to knock doors and make phone calls. I did it in the state of Florida for President Donald Trump. Before I was working for Right Side Broadcasting, I had a job working for the campaign here, and I was knocking doors and making phone calls for the President of the United States for the campaign. And so it wasn't fun. It was hot here in the summer. You would sweat and you would just not enjoy it. It's not something that's fun. But you know what? The cause is great. And because of our efforts, the president got a 2% gain in this state. That is millions of votes here in this state.
Hispanic votes.
Absolutely.
In Miami, that's what, really solidified his win in Florida, was that he gained so many Hispanic voters, Venezuelans, Cubans, people who know what it's like to live in a socialist society. The left likes to sugarcoat it and say, oh, it's democratic socialism, therefore it's different. But what we say to that is, you only get to vote democratically for socialism one time before you can't vote for anything again. So it only takes that one time, and you never know these days. I don't trust politicians. I don't trust the people in the government to only do this nice version of socialism, because people are people, and power is very influential, and you can't trust these people to not just go for a full-on power grab once they get a little hint of power. We saw what happened over the last 2 weeks when after Pence and Congress certified the election for Biden. We saw what big tech did. They got just a little glimpse of power, and then they just went overboard.
They lashed down really hard.
Yeah, they lashed down really hard, and they were saying, okay, now we're going to be in the White House. Okay, then we're going to censor all of you. We're going to silence all of you. And it's not going to stop at Inauguration Day, like Jack Dorsey was shown by Project Veritas as saying. Right. He was saying this is going to go far beyond Inauguration Day. And that's a scary thought. So we need to start truly taking power, because, we're not slaves to Apple and Google. Right. We're not slaves to big tech. So we have a choice. In this country, we have capitalism, and we need to use it to get out of this mess. We need to support other platforms. Even they might be a little less technologically advanced. They might not, unfortunately, they might not be as user interface friendly as Facebook is, or something like that. But it's what we have to do. It's called growing pains. You have to be able to struggle a little bit. And that's such a first world problem. Right. We're over here complaining about, big tech censorship, and we're scared to get off a platform just because it's easier to use. You guys, we have to get tougher than that. We have to get way tougher than that. And our freedom is worth that. Our freedom is worth getting on a smaller app that might not be as easy to use. Like, come on. So, but that said, just follow at RSB Network on Rumble. Follow us on, I believe we're making a Gab if we don't have one already. Search it, Right Side Broadcasting Network. And we are also on Telegram. We have a Telegram group. It's really cool. We're fully on Telegram now, so I like using it. It's fun. It's encrypted. So Right Side Broadcasting Network. Of course, you guys can find us on all the regular social media platforms. I'm going to call them the establishment platforms, because that's what they are. The swamp platforms. So the swamp outlets. So at RSB Network, of course. And you guys can also donate to us financially. It takes a lot of money and effort to get us to these events. So we really appreciate all of your guys' support. This last 5 years would not have been possible without you at all. We truly appreciate all of it. So you guys can head to our website at www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. And you guys can also send us a check to our physical address in Auburn, Alabama, 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama, 36830. And yeah, so we really appreciate all of your support. And I'll hand it off to Philip so he can talk about our partner.
Of course. Thank you so much, Grace. And uh, if you're just joining us, we're here in West Palm Beach. But one thing I want to talk about right now is our partner, who you've probably seen in the news recently, been a trending social media sensation. Mike Lindell of My Pillow. As you know, he had a sit down with President Donald J. Trump the other day in the Oval Office to present some information of which I'm sure you know about. I'm not going to go into great detail talking about, but presented him some information on a paperwork, and it blew up all over social media when a White House photographer was able to take a picture of it, who's part of the press pool. So ever since that, the media and all the big tech establishment, big box stores have been trying to cancel Mike. But here at Right Side Broadcasting Network, we are proud of our partnership with him. So what Mike has done is he has set up a promo code for you to use when you go to mypillow.com. Use promo code RSBN, receive up to 66% off your order. And, you know, that's really some of the biggest savings he's ever put out on his website. And people are trying to cancel Patriots right now because of their support for our president. We need to support Mike Lindell. We need to support My Pillow because he has supported President Trump and he has supported patriots like us for the last 5 years. He always talks about his famous sit-down meeting with President Donald Trump up in Trump Tower when he was candidate Trump at the time. And he says how he started supporting the president. He had a sit-down meeting with him and he knew Donald Trump was going to be a great president. And because of that, they want to cancel him. And we will not let that happen. So I urge every single one of our viewers, go to mypillow.com, use promo code RSBN, receive up to 66% off your order. Mike has a wide variety of products on there. He's got the My Pillow, the Giza Dream Sheets, the My Pillow mattress topper, the dog beds, you name it. Mike's got it on his website. He's even got towels and bathrobes, I think. So he's got a lot of products for you to choose from. He doesn't just have pillows, okay? So use promo code RSBN, receive up to 66% off your order. Patriots, support, help Patriots. And that's exactly what we're going to do by supporting Mike Lindell. And I urge you to do the same. In fact, I need some new pillows. I'm going to be heading over there, getting myself some pillows from mypillow.com. I know Brian probably even has too, because we've talked about that before. It's good for a good night's sleep. Go to mypillow.com, use promo code RSBN. Anyways, if you're just joining us, we're here live in West Palm Beach, Florida on Southern Boulevard in West Palm Beach, just nearly a few miles away from the president's estate. And you'll see here as the camera moves and shows the road, there are patriots and supporters of the president of the United States lined up along the road, up and down. You see over there, there's a crossing. It looks like a bridge of some sort. That actually goes over a set of railroad tracks. And then if you head just a few more paces forward, there'll be a temporary bridge which you go over, and the president's estate will be just on the other side. So definitely very close to Mar-a-Lago right here. And what people are doing is they're trying to get a glimpse of the president of the United States and the first lady of the United States as they pass by in the motorcade. What they're going to do is they're going to work their way along this road right past here. And in past, they have slowed down. The president has told Secret Service to pump the brakes a little bit. Slow down. Let me wave to the supporters because I want them to know that I have their back. And I have a feeling, I have a gut feeling, I'm not going to speculate anything, that may be the president's message today, is that he wants to slow down a little bit. He wants to let everybody who's here know that he still has their back, even though he will not be in the Oval Office or the president of the United States at 12:01 p.m. this afternoon. So if you're just joining us, like I said, here in West Palm Beach, certainly a great afternoon here. The weather is beautiful. It's a perfect West Palm Beach day. Big thank you to all the sheriff and the police who are protecting us here. You see, they put up these barriers for our protection so that way when the cars are going by super fast or the motorcade zooms by, we are protected. So thank you to the people in blue, men and women in blue. You have our support here at Right Side Broadcasting. Me and Grace were talking earlier about all the people who are lined up here. I've done this several times, and a lot of these faces look very, very familiar. I've seen a few people who I've had past encounters with. So there definitely is repeat supporters of the president here, and I can say confidently that people who voted for the president in 2016 are here today. Today.
We love Right Side.
Thank you so much. There are people who supported the president in 2016, and they are here today as we take a walk through the grass here, showing everybody lined up against these barriers which are on the sidewalk for a glimpse of the president and the first lady as they pass by in the motorcade. So we're making our way through the crowd here now, and you can see it's just lined up all the way. So there's definitely a lot of people here today who want to show their support for the president. As I'm walking through some high grass here, you enjoy this view because the mainstream media is not going to show you this. This is why right side broadcasting really exists, to show you the crowds. The mainstream media would not be showing you this right now. It's only because right side broadcasting is here that you're seeing this. There's no other news company here showing the crowds, showing the people and their support for the president of the United States and the first lady as they come down Southern Boulevard here in West Palm Beach. So get a good sight, get a good glimpse of the crowd here, because there is still support for this president despite what the mainstream media says. People are here and they love America more than anything else. And that's really what this movement has been all about. It hasn't been just about Donald Trump. It's been about America. And that's what all these people here support. So you see a lot of American flags. You see a lot of patriots here who want to show their support. So it's really a great day to be out here in West Palm Beach, making our way to the end of the block, where you'll see it's literally been an entire block of people lined up to support the president and the first lady as they pass by here today. They will be landing shortly. They're expected to land. Original schedule is 11 o'clock. There has been a bit of a diversion because the president took a little bit longer to get onto Marine One this morning when he was leaving the White House. You saw he was a few minutes late getting on there. So it definitely has been a little bit different than what we were expecting. So maybe a slight time change, but stay tuned as we're here and we will bring you coverage of everything that is happening. We're going to go ahead and make our way back to down by our other crew. We got Will and Grace down there, and they are, working hard, talking to people. We're going to get some interviews here very soon. Talk to people about why they're out here today, because it's very important. So continue to support Right Side Broadcasting, because we're the only ones who are out here showing the crowds. We're showing the people, and that's what people want to see. The mainstream media will tell you that Trump is losing his base. That's just not true. That's fake news. That is fake news. But are we surprised? It comes from the mainstream media. So the Trump base is here. A lot of these faces are familiar. I've seen these faces before. People are showing up again and again and again, time and time after time, to see the president. So the president's not losing his base. That's fake news, okay? The president's support is maybe stronger now than it ever has been before. So continue to tune in to Right Side Broadcasting, kind of working our way through bushes here at the moment. My apologies. But you see it here. People are fired up. They want to see the president of the United States. And that's why they're here. So thanks for tuning in. It means a lot. Give us a second to go ahead and get reestablished back in our old space. But you got the lamestream media here. Just saw a camera. And they're not showing the crowds. That's what Right Side does. We show the crowds. They got a single camera angle fixed on the road, but they're not showing you the crowds. And that's what's important, is that people see the support for the president. So that was a little bit of a long-winded thing as we went down there. We're going to pass it over to Grace. She'll tell us a little bit more about what she's been hearing from people here on the ground.
Yeah, so people are here. They're just making sure that the president knows that they're still here for him. They're not going to let the lies of the mainstream media or the radical left deter them from coming out to support him and to making their voice known, because the media would think that we don't exist. We don't exist here. So there's no one who supports President Trump. He's a racist, all this. Only white supremacists and insurrectionists support President Trump, and it couldn't be further from the truth. If I'm sure you guys just saw a little bit of the crowd now, but there's plenty of minorities here who support the president. They're obviously not white and they're not supremacists. So if they were, they wouldn't support the president. So anyway, it's just such a good feeling here right now. I hear God Bless the USA playing from a truck over here, which is playing the entire Trump rally playlist. And Let me tell you, every time I hear one of these songs from the playlist, I automatically think back to being at a Trump rally. It just immediately takes me there, and it's such a monumental moment in our lifetimes. We've never seen a campaign like this in presidential history. I think that's safe to say. We've never seen tens of thousands. President Trump is like a rock star. It's like he's like a rock star. He's the only person, the only politician in American history who can garner hundreds of thousands of people. I think his biggest crowd ever it was right before Election Day. It was like a week or maybe a week and a half before, when he went to Pennsylvania. And that's the shot where you see just tens of thousands of red hats, probably 100,000. I think the estimate inside the rally ended up being about 70,000 people. So that's insane. So it was so cool to be able to witness this historic moment. This is truly a movement. I don't believe that, personally, it's my opinion that Joe Biden did not get 80 million votes. He can't get more than 10 people to come to his rally. Remember the big social distanced circles he had where one person would sit in each circle and there was like 6 of them? That is it's unbelievable. Even Obama went and campaigned for him. And it could only pull a crowd of a couple hundred. I mean, it's just insane. The energy that President Trump has in his movement is just unreal. So that's why we're here today in Palm Beach County, in a primarily blue county. There's primarily Democrat base here, surprisingly, but I guess it is South Florida. So anything north of Palm Beach County, though, it gets pretty red. So Florida it's mostly a red state, and I think people always call it a swing state. I think that's mostly because of the Hispanic vote down in Miami. However, I think times are changing. The closer the left goes to socialism, the more they're going to drive people who came from socialism away. So, like President Trump says, America will never be a socialist country. And I'm going to add to that, we're never going to be a communist country. We're never going to be a globalist country. That's one of my favorite things President Trump has done, was standing up to the global elites. And he tells the American people, you are the elite. You are the elite. He's not going to let people who lobby for the globalists and to ruin our country, to ruin our what we have here. They don't want to let us he does not want to allow the globalists to take away our freedom. And that's what's so important, because they will go for open borders. They will go for socialized medicine and all these terrible ideas that don't work for real people. That's the problem with the government. Oh, it looks like there's some police cars going by. We might be getting closer than we thought we were to President Trump arriving in Palm Beach. Philip said earlier that once you see the police blocking off the roads and more and more police filling into the area, that's when President Trump is close to arriving. So let's see what time it is. It is about 10:30. Our guesstimate was about 11:20, because his original landing time was supposed to be 11 a.m. So he was a little bit late because he did he did some final remarks after his farewell speech yesterday, which is very solemn. To me, I felt it was a little bit somber, but it was also hopeful. It was optimistic, and President Trump was saying, we need to maintain our American spirit, because that's what holds us together. We're a nation of diversity. We're a nation of people from all different backgrounds, whether it's race, religion, creed, financial status. And the one thing that holds us together is that we all support the principles of this country, which are freedom, liberty, justice, truth, all these wonderful things, our belief in God. We are a Christian nation. We were founded on Christian principles, and that's another thing that President Trump has done so well in fighting for. He has restored religious liberty in this country, and that's so, so important. So my point in saying all this is that we have more in common than we do differences. So we might look different. We might have a different religion. However, the things that bring us together are those things that America was founded on. So I have faith in that, and so does President Trump, as he said in his farewell address yesterday. Unfortunately, this is the end of his first term. There may be a second term. We don't know yet for sure, but regardless, it is time for us to pull together as Americans and remember what makes us strong. We're the most powerful country in the world, and we're the freest country in the world. And the American people we can't get in our heads and get so down about politics, because things are going to happen, and we have to be able to move with the changes. So we need to be able to adapt. We need to learn. We need to learn from President Trump, learn how to accomplish change. And that's going to be my goal for the next few years. It's going to be to campaign for patriotic candidates. I'm going to talk to people on the ground, because it's so important to have conversations. You need to have conversations with people who don't agree with you. I know it's hard. I understand it's hard. I have friends and family who don't agree with me politically, and it is difficult sometimes, because some people just, there's certain facts that people don't want to acknowledge, and we have to be able to get past that and help people understand the way we see things, because I think all of us agree that this is an amazing country. We just want the best for it. Now, I think we also agree on many of the problems that we have in America. However, what's different is our solutions to those problems and whether those problems work, or whether those solutions work. So we need to be able to talk to people and find common ground with it. There's definitely going to be changes. We're not going to have President Trump to lead us in the nation. We're going to be under a Democrat-controlled, presidency, Congress, Senate. However, I'm not giving up hope. We can't give up hope. We can't afford to, you guys, because if you lose hope, you risk giving up, and we're not going to give up. That's why we're here. That's why all these people are here in Palm Beach supporting the president. They're not going to give up either. And I have faith in a county like this that is primarily Democrat I bet there's probably a couple hundred people out here right now. I can't see all the way down. Actually, somebody told me that there's about 5 times the amount of people down at a park past the light. So I'm not sure if we can see that with the camera, but there are tons of people here. And the reason why we're not down there to show you that crowd right now is because we want to show you the motorcade with our spot. We don't want to lose our spot, because people are lined up all along this fence that we are in by the sidewalk. So if we lose a spot, we can't guarantee we're going to show you the motorcade. So we're not going to do that. However, I will describe to you everything that people tell me here. So, somebody told me, they gave me a tip. They said, tell your viewers to research the mayoral race in Wellington, Florida. So I'm not going to say anything else than that, but that they told me that, you guys should know about it. So go look it up on Wikipedia, look up the mayoral race in the election in Wellington, Florida. So that's a little hint for you guys. But yes, so I see a sign right now that says, "We know the truth." And that's so symptomatic of this movement. We do know the truth. And that's why we're here fighting for the president's policies, because the truth is truth. And the problem with the left is they don't want to admit that there is a truth. They like to have your truth, my truth, all this moral relativism. But no, I think, that's what makes conservatives different, is that they believe there are absolutes. There's a right and a wrong. There is truth. Not everything is relative. So that's the only way you can find solutions to problems. So that's what we're doing. We need to find better solutions, and we need to start uniting as a country. So it's, whether we like it or not, we have been increasingly divided over the last few years, and especially over the last year. Oh my gosh, this pandemic stuff has been absolutely insane. I never imagined the United States of America would be going through things like this, but we're going to restore America. We're going to restore our economy. Again, I'm hoping that the next administration continues the policies of the MAGA doctrine, and that they continue President Trump's economic stance, because we need that to get out of this mess we're in the economy, frankly. So I'm not losing hope. Not losing hope.
Of course, we wish them the best of luck. We don't wish them bad luck, because if they don't do well, then that also hurts us as well. So we wish them the best of luck. Truly, we do. And we hope that they would continue to carry out policies that are going to put the American people first and help Americans above everything else. So that's really all we have to say about that. But we do wish them luck. And certainly it will not be the gravity of which President Trump put America first, but hopefully they do decide to put Americans first. If you're just joining us, we're here in West Palm Beach, Florida, along Southern Boulevard, the main drag from the airport to where the president's estate is located, just on the other side of the Intracoastal. You have to take a bridge to get there. So when the president does arrive here, the roads will get real quiet. Things will get super shut off. There won't be any pedestrian traffic. You'll see some police presence start to ramp up. And the president will come by in the motorcade. As for what he's going to do, if he'll stop, if he'll wave, if he'll slow down, we don't know. But certainly in the past, speaking from personal experience, I have seen the president tell Secret Service to pump the brakes a little bit and wait for, just let him wait and wave to people. So we'll see what happens. Certainly an exciting time to be here. Like I said, this is truly unprecedented. This is something that hasn't happened in American history in 150 years, I believe, where the president did not sit in the new president-elect's ceremony to become president of the United States. So what you're watching right now on Right Side Broadcasting Network is more than just a broadcast. This is American history unfolding before your eyes, because 150 years from now, when something similar happens to this, people are saying, well, the last time this happened was the Trump versus Biden election inauguration. And you get to say to your kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, you were there watching as that happened. The president decided to, in the best interest of his supporters and himself, to go on and do things his way, as he always has, and break the DC norms. And so that's why the president will be driving by with the First Lady here today. And it is important to note that when they do drive by, they will still be President and First Lady Trump. Yes. So the nuclear footballs, all the executive power which rests with the president, will be inside that motorcade for about an hour after he drives by, till 12:01, when Joe Biden is inaugurated to be 46th president of the United States. So when Donald Trump passes by, you will still be seeing President Donald Trump, and that might be the last appearance you will see from him for today as president of the United States. So certainly keep your eyes open. Take a good look. Be sure to watch. Slow things down. Avoid the distractions during this time, because what this is American history, and we've never seen something like this in our lifetime. So please, I encourage you to really enjoy it.
Yeah, I want to encourage you guys to, and I know this is a very sad day for we perceive this as a sad day for our movement. However, there are plenty of things to look forward to, but don't be sad. Don't get down. Be happy that we had the last 4 years, because the way I think about it is we were never supposed to have President Trump. If the establishment had their way, if the mainstream media had their way, we would not have him for the past 4 years. But we did. We got him, and truth be told, he did more in one presidency, 4 years, than anybody has done in 2 terms, 3 terms, maybe even 4. I mean, actually, I think the longest term was 3 terms with FDR. But nobody has done what President Trump has accomplished, and that's what's important to know. So we should celebrate everything that we have seen from this president. We've learned so much from him, not only with the way he deals with things, but as far as the swamp, how things work in Washington, D.C. And we've also learned what can be accomplished in future presidencies. Presidents always say they can't get something done because of some reason or whatever, but now we know that it can get done. We don't have to believe their lies. Things can get done, and it's up to them to do it. So, people they get these jobs and they think they're just going to live the high life and take our money and just have a good day, and be lifetime politicians. But we're not going to allow that anymore. Like Philip said earlier, this is President Trump's party now. So we're not going to elect people who are going to do anything less than work hard for the American people. And again, not all the change is going to happen in just a few years. It's going to take us decades to get back to how America should be, which is prosperous, a nation of law and order, rule of law. We abide by our United States Constitution, First Amendment, Second Amendment, as long as all those amendments are respected. That is what we want to go back to. We don't want to continue this world of divided ideology that the left has put us in. The mainstream media has been key in that. So I want you guys to think about, next time you see a clip from Fox or a clip from CNN or whatever, don't buy the outrage. Don't act on emotions. Think about it logically and rationally before you go out, because that's what the media does. Their job is to sensationalize. I've worked at a mainstream media outlet before, and that's the job. They all have their biases. Nobody claims to be, well, actually one of them claims to be fair and unbiased, but we all know that that's not necessarily true. But the thing is, we have to be able to think critically about things and think rationally. Let's not act on our emotions. We're not the left. That's what they do. Their outrage culture is their thing. It's not ours. We cannot adopt it. We can't, even though as upset as we are about what we perceive to be our freedoms being taken away, we cannot be outraged. We have to continue supporting our beliefs peacefully. So we are going to continue to work for that. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, thanks so much, Grace. And you're 100% right. This is Donald Trump's party. He has control of it, and the media. Uh, a lot of people have raised speculation that President Trump may start his own media company. So we will see. Stay tuned, I guess, and see what happens.
Anything's possible at this point. So
Right, anything is possible. And I remember going to Turning Point USA this last December, and Dinesh D'Souza was on stage, and he was talking about the time that he sat down in the Oval Office with the president, and he said, "Well, if you know I stay, should I not stay in office? What should I do?" And Dinesh said, "Start a media company. People will love it." And he said, "Really?" And he said, "Yes, do it." So certainly we are not sure what we're going to see from the Trump family moving forward. But what we do know, like I've said time and time again, is that they have laid out the MAGA doctrine for candidates to use moving forward into the future, and as they lead the United States and the GOP. I've also heard rumored that President Trump is thinking about starting his own political party called the Patriot Party. So I don't know what's going to happen there. It was rumored on Twitter yesterday that someone inside the White House leaked that information to the press. As far as my personal opinion goes, I think that what we need to do is we need to revamp our party, which we have right now, which has been so successful in the past, and we need to get rid of the swamp creatures in there and reinstall these people, like I've been saying. But that's just my personal opinion. To each his own. If there were a Patriot Party, is something I would consider joining. How about yourself, Grace?
perhaps it depends on what their values are. I can't commit to anything right away because I know that people have started groups online for a Patriot Party and different things. So, I don't want to, say that I'm with a certain thing if I'm not. Yeah, so we'll see what happens, though. Anything's possible. Trump could start a media company. He could, do all that stuff. But for now, we need to. President Trump, it's interesting that you say, when he drives by, because it's inauguration day, you think Biden is president now. He's not yet, not until noon. So we're going to enjoy the very last moments where Trump will still be the president. When he drives by right here, he will be the president, and Melania will be first lady. So we're going to still see him as president. He won't be a civilian yet. So after, I think that after a few months goes by, we see how things go, then President Trump will make his moves. Excuse me. So until then, let's just try to stay optimistic. We already know that Joe Biden is going to try to pass a lot of radical left agenda items. However, we'll see, because one thing that I know about establishment politicians that we always gripe about is they make all these promises, but they never keep them, right? They do it to get votes. They say, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do this for you. But Democrats have long been known to just forget about certain communities after promising them stuff. So in one sense, it's terrible, but in another sense, if they're going to make all these radical promises and then not follow through with them because they want to use those same promises again in 4 years when they have to go for election again, I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm not going to be mad if they don't keep their promises. However, when it comes to the American people and when it comes to things like stimulus checks and stuff like that, I think it's very important that we get relief out as fast as possible. So we just need to put the American people first. That's the thing, these politicians get so lost in money and power that they don't want to put America first. And Trump's, Air Force One is right in the sky right here. Police officer just let us know about it. It's so nice of her. But Air Force One is flying in to Palm Beach County. President Trump is aboard along with First Lady Melania Trump. After they land, they will take the motorcade down. I'm so glad we got this view of Air Force One, but they're going to take the motorcade down into Palm Beach and cross the bridge, and then that's where we will see President Trump. And I'm hoping for a little wave, just like that moment at the Washington, D.C. rally. But yes, Air Force One. I hear that it can fly across the United States twice without refilling on gas. So massive plane, beautiful plane. I love that whenever President Trump did his rallies, he would always park Air Force One right behind him, right behind the stage. And I love that. It shows the magnitude of Air Force One and of the presidency and of the American power. We're the greatest country in the world, and I just love seeing Air Force One. So it's always cool to see it land.
And it is worth noting that the airport is only right down the road there. So certainly he's going to be on that plane longer than he was technically supposed to be, just because he wanted to fly by and see his supporters. He's going to actually have to go way down out west, make a U-turn, I'm imagining, and come back towards the airport, because that's not usually the way they come in. They usually fly in from the west heading east, but he did want to see probably his supporters lined up here along Southern Boulevard. So the president's staying on Air Force One longer than he even has to be on there. And there you go. You just saw it. Air Force One flying over. So that means any minute now, the president and the first lady will be passing by on a motorcade headed to Mar-a-Lago, the Mar-a-Lago estate, where they will spend the final moments of his presidency. I was talking to our other cameraman, and I was kind of like, well, what do you do in your last day as president? Like, you go home and you sit down and take your shoes off and watch TV, or, how does that work? So very interesting, something to kind of think about, like, what is President Trump going to do when he gets home? It'd be interesting to see what he gets to work on. I imagine he likes to stay busy, because someone who's 70 years old does not run for president if they don't want to stay busy, when he did in 2016. Now he's 74, the president. So I imagine he is one who likes to be active. So we'll see what he gets to work on when he gets back to Mar-a-Lago and he's no longer president of the United States.
And he doesn't have Twitter anymore, so he can't tweet to us all like he probably normally would. Right. But I cannot imagine that President Trump would just stop carrying out his presidential duties even 1 minute before he is not president anymore. Right. I am sure that he is doing his job to the fullest extent until the very last second, because that's who he is. He's a hard worker. He wakes up very early in the morning, 4 or 5 a.m., goes to bed at midnight. He's a machine. He doesn't stop working. Even during when he got COVID-19, he did not stop working. So, nothing can stop the man. He's Teflon Don, as a lot of people like to say. They have the flags, and he truly is. Nothing can break him. Nothing can break him. And he lets everybody know it. Whenever the mainstream media and the Democrats try to attack him, he makes it known he will not be shaken. And that's great advice for all of us, I think. Don't be shaken by the current events. Keep fighting. Keep pushing back, because that's how you accomplish change, number one, and that's how you stay positive. And so I bet President Trump will probably have a nice lunch with his family. I bet he'll want to see his grandkids and stuff after all he's been through. And his family's made so many sacrifices throughout this presidency. He has probably missed out on a lot of his grandkids growing up. His son is 14-year-old son. He's 14, Barron. And, there's a lot of things that he's probably looking forward to getting to do now as a civilian, and not having to work so hard as president. So we're very grateful for him.
Of course, the president has made a lot of sacrifices during his time in office. I was reading a report recently that said he lost an estimated $2 billion in net worth. $2 billion. Many of us really wish we could even make $1 billion. So he lost double that. During his time in presidency, he didn't take his salary. He certainly has sacrificed a family fortune to be president of the United States, to fight for us, the American people. So thank you, President Trump and First Lady and entire Trump family, on behalf of Grace and I and the whole Right Side Broadcasting family and America, for your sacrifice to our country. It means a great deal, and we know that you didn't have to do it, but you did it anyways. So it means a ton. And hey, if you're just joining us, we're here in West Palm Beach, Florida, along Southern Boulevard, which is the main street headed from Palm Beach International to Mar-a-Lago Estate on Palm Beach Island. We're in West Palm Beach right now, technically. We just saw Air Force One fly over. President Trump will be around here any minute, passing by in the motorcade. And when that does happen, we will bring you live coverage. I'll give you a scoop, a little bit of how it's going to happen. If you look behind me here, there's Southern Boulevard heading west. So you see all the cars headed opposite the direction that the camera is. That is heading west, and that is where the president will be coming from Palm Beach International Airport. Air Force One will land. He'll get off the plane, walk down the stairs with the First Lady and the family, most likely. He'll head into the motorcade and make his way east to the Mar-a-Lago Estate. He'll come over that bridge. You'll see the motorcade, usually led by motorcycle police and other police cars, and then the Secret Service, of course, will have their motorcade vehicles in place. And it will come right by here, and as soon as that happens, our cameras will be getting shots of the president as he passes by in the motorcade. A telltale sign that the president will be coming is pedestrian traffic will come to a halt. There will not be any pedestrian traffic whatsoever passing by. Increased police presence will ramp up around here. They've already put these barriers in place, which is one sign that the president is on his way to his estate. Obviously, we just saw Air Force One fly over. If you missed that, feel free to go back a little bit in the broadcast, and you will find Air Force One flew right over the street here on Southern Boulevard, and the president will drive by as president of the United States still, because Joe Biden does not get inaugurated until 12:01 p.m. when he will be president of the United States. So you will see history. The last time something like this has happened was over 150 years ago, where a president did not sit at the inauguration ceremony for the incoming president. So I've made this point all morning. What you're watching is more than just a broadcast, more than just a YouTube stream. You're actually watching history unfold here in West Palm Beach, Florida. For the first time in 150 years, a president not sitting in the ceremony, and he will certainly pass by in the motorcade, and he will head to his Mar-a-Lago estate to work every single minute up until 11:59 to carry out his duties as the greatest president that this country has had, certainly the greatest in my lifetime and the greatest in modern history. So, like I said, telltale sign, increased police presence will come by, and they're headed down towards the Mar-a-Lago estate, headed east on Southern Boulevard. So it's only a matter of time before the plane lands. The plane did come in from the east and head west. Normally at Palm Beach, when Air Force One comes in, being there multiple times, it comes in from the west and lands in the east. So the president certainly did come because he wanted to see his supporters today on Southern Boulevard, which is right here. So the president's spending extra time on Air Force One with his family, just so he could see his supporters, and his supporters could see Air Force One in all of its glory flying over.
Yes, certainly all of its glory flying over. It's always amazing to see Air Force One because it's so awesome. It's a massive plane. It's carrying the leader of the free world. They always say that about the president of the United States, and it rings true here in this case specifically, because he is fighting for freedom. He is the leader, the free leader of the free world, and he is going to continue. He's going to continue this ideology. He's, gotten so many people to support over the last 4 years. It was a rough, honestly, I remember 2016 just being a nail-biting election. It was just so hard to watch because it was like we just kept watching the states flip, and they were like, oh my gosh, are they going to call it? Are they going to call it? And nobody would call states. The mainstream media could not admit that President Trump was ahead of Hillary Clinton. And that was such a wonderful moment when he did end up winning the election. It was awesome. So,
of course, I just heard West Palm Beach Police say something along the lines of "shut it down," and as soon as they said "shut it down," barriers started getting moved. Police started popping out of every single little part that they could in the street. You see police blocking the roads, going all the way down and all the way up. Like I said, pedestrian traffic will come to a halt, and it basically has at this point come to a halt. Police are getting in place. The sheriff's unit is here getting in place. Motorcycle police are moving people off the street, moving them back. So it is only a matter of time before President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump pass by here in the motorcade. Certainly an exciting time to be alive, to be able to witness this history, which is amazing. And the truck across the street playing God Bless the USA by Lee Greenwood makes it all the better, because you really feel like you're at a Trump rally almost with this music. If any of you have had the pleasure of being able to go to a Trump rally, you know that you experience this great vibe coming from the music, and the music really just sets the tone for the entire event. So here, police moving in the street, like I said, and it is a matter of time where we will see the motorcade pop over that hill down there. I'm sure Air Force One has landed and things are probably getting in place. So like I said many times over and over, people just lined up here to support the president of the United States, see him one last time as president as he passes by in what will be a great motorcade, and one that will always be remembered. I hope that if you have family at home right now, bring your family together. Get your kids and turn on the broadcast and make sure you're sharing it with everyone you can, because this moment is to not be forgotten. This is the moment of the end of one of the greatest presidencies this country has ever seen. So please, I encourage you, share this with as many people as possible. Enjoy this time. Sit down, relax, turn off the distractions, mute your phones, silence your cell phones, and sit together and watch this, because this is truly a historical moment, something that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. I'm sure Grace will, and everybody who's here with the Right Side team. And I hope you will too, because this is unprecedented. And when the motorcade does come by, I'll go ahead, I'll stop talking so that you can really enjoy the moment of when the motorcade comes. But until then, we're going to be here, and we're going to give you as much of a broadcast we can. Usually you'll hear the motorcycle police. They lead the charge in the motorcade. So you hear a loud rumble coming from the west heading east, and you'll see the motorcycle police pop over the hill in a massive gang of bikers, motorcycle police. So when that does happen, that is the telltale sign that the motorcade is on the move and going to be passing here soon. Grace, this is really something that you'll probably remember for the rest of your life. Share a little bit of what your heart is feeling right now in this time.
Honestly, I'm a little sad right now. I'm a little sad. I know I told everybody not to be sad because I'm trying to tell myself not to be sad right now. But again, we have to be able to let's enjoy the moment. Let's celebrate the fact that we had President Trump for 4 years and all those great things that he's done for us. Created the greatest economy we've ever seen. He pioneered criminal justice reform. He got lowest unemployment rates for minorities and women. He did amazing things for Medicare. He lowered drug prices. He fought the opioid abuse epidemic. He fought human trafficking. He was the most pro-life president we've ever had. I know that's so important to so many evangelical conservatives, and he established world peace between Israel and the Middle East. That's not exactly something that gets done all the time. Most presidents don't get one peace deal, let alone 4 or 5. He signed the Abraham Accords. He moved the embassy to Jerusalem. He did so many things that patriotic conservative Americans support, and really he put all Americans first. It doesn't matter what your ideology was, and that's something to really appreciate. Let's not get lost in the outrage culture. Let's not get lost in the hatred. Let's enjoy this moment as a time where we can reflect on the past 4 years and remember how much he's done and how much he's reminded us of how great America truly is. So this is honestly, it's going to be a historic moment, like Philip said, and just enjoy it. Don't be sad. We have to keep going, and President Trump isn't leaving us. He's not leaving us. That's the thing. He might not be in the White House, but he's still going to be the most influential man in politics and, in America, to be honest. So we're not going to let them silence us. We're not going to let them get our spirits down, because one thing President Trump said in his farewell address yesterday is that we need to keep the American spirit going strong. And how do we do that? We have to stay optimistic. We have to continue the fight. So he's not going to let us down, and we're not going to let him down by giving up and getting sad. So he's going to be rolling in any time now, probably within the next, 10 minutes or so. I haven't seen a motorcade before, actually. So I've only seen Air Force One, and I've seen the rallies. I've seen the Beast come into rallies, but I've never had it pass by me. So it's going to be a very exciting moment for you all to see as well. And we're here in West Palm Beach. It's beautiful weather. It's probably about 70 degrees. And so this is his home. This is where he lives. So hopefully we'll get a wave. I want to see a wave from the president. I know he will, because he would not let this moment pass him by. Just like Philip said, he was flying in Air Force One earlier. He didn't have to fly over the crowd, but he did, because he loves the people. That's where he gets his energy from. That's his motivator. He loves America. He loves the people. He loves helping others. He's genuinely a caring person. No matter what the media tries to make you think about him, they try to make you think he's a monster, but he's not. He's not a monster. He cares about the American people just like me and like you. He would never let us down. So again, he's not going anywhere. He said, he's coming back in some form. Doesn't give us a whole lot of insight exactly what he's going to do, but we do know that he is going to come back. So, we'll probably give it a couple months and see how things go in this new presidency, and we'll see what President Trump has up his sleeve. He's known for playing 3D chess, and he's not going to stop that now. So his goal is to make America great, and he promised us over and over again throughout all of his rallies that he would never stop fighting for us, the American people. So I don't expect that or predict at all that he's just going to stop now, and as if that was all, just pretend, just to get elected. That's not who President Trump is. So we can fully expect that he is going to continue fighting for us beyond the presidency until his last day. So,
of course, thank you so much, Grace. All very good points that you're mentioning there. Just a matter of time. I'm kind of trying to keep my eyes open to see down Southern Boulevard where the motorcade is, but just a matter of time until we see the president. And I imagine that when he does come by, he'll give waves and he'll give hellos, and he wants to say hi to his supporters because they were the ones who helped get him here in the first place, especially in the state of Florida. Won by 2%, a little over 2% in 2016, won by over 4% this time around. So I would say that Florida is definitely Trump country, as they would say. And when that motorcade does come by, we're going to bring it to you. It's hard a little bit to see past these people, but you will be able to see it when he comes by. And I'm sure he'll be waving and giving hellos to everybody because that's who the president is. He's really a man of the people. More than anything, he's one of the nicest people you will ever meet. My first experience meeting the president was like talking to a best friend when I met the president. It was like someone I've known for years and years, and he was the president of the United States, and I was just some 16-year-old kid. So truly a perfect testament to the president. And I'm sure if he could say hello to every single person who was out here, he would. But unfortunately, that's just not the case. But he is definitely a man of character and a man of great personality. And you will never forget Donald Trump. At least I won't. And his presidency and his personality, because it's one of a kind. President Trump is one of a kind. So
now, don't speak too soon because, he's going to be very emotional. And he's going to be coming as president for the last time. And he may stop and he may talk to you.
Right. He may. Like I said, I'm not.
He talks to everybody.
I'm not going to speculate on what the president is and isn't going to do because that's totally up to him to do as he wishes. But just based upon past experiences, I'm using that reasoning. But like I said, you may never know what he'll do because he's the president. He can do whatever he wants, really, when it comes down to it. If he wants to say hi to people, he'll say hi to people. There have been instances down just a little bit headed east. There's an island in between the West Palm Beach and Palm Beach called Bingham, which connects the road to Palm Beach Island. And there used to be supporters out there in 2016. And he stopped when he was president and he got out and he started shaking their hands. And he got out of the car and he started waving because, that's who the president is. He's a man of the people, like I've said before. So momentarily, if you're just joining us, the motorcade will be passing by with President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump as they head to the Mar-a-Lago estate to spend their finishing time, remaining time in office. So as soon as it happens, we're going to bring it to you here live on Right Side Broadcasting Network. Of course, thank you, as always, for your support for Right Side Broadcasting Network. As you know, we are almost 100% viewer funded, and it's because of viewers like you we are able to do everything that we do. We're able to send a crew here and show you this today because the mainstream media is not going to show you this. CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, they're not out here today. So we're out here, but we're showing it to you, and when it does happen, we'll have it for you. So thank you for your support as always. You can go to rsbnetwork.com/donate to support Right Side Broadcasting Network, and 100% of those proceeds will go to Right Side Broadcasting Network, RSBN, and help us to continue to fund our journey as we travel across the United States to cover this president and many important events which will impact history forever. Of course, covering the right side, which speaks for itself. It's in our name, Right Side Broadcasting Network. And we always said that we'll be the ones to show the crowds, and we're the only ones here today who will show the crowds. So there's some movement now on the streets. This is the first time I've seen a police officer drive by in a little bit in an unmarked car. So I imagine it's just a matter of time. You see the hill down there, down at the end of the picture. That's west, and the president will be leaving the airport, which is just right down that hill, really, is what it comes down to, and headed this way. So I don't know what the holdup may be. I can't necessarily put my finger on that, but when it does happen, we will have it for you. I don't know. There's some movement coming over the hill right now, so that I believe is the president's motorcade. I'm going to go ahead and get off the mic for now and just let you enjoy the historical moment that's happening here.
All right, can we start cheering now? That's not bad.
It's just the beginning. It's not done yet.
That's not bad.
Just a wave of people.
All right, so it's just a matter of time. Oh, you see this? Oh, yeah. The other mistake on the way. The other mistake on the way. It's not on the way. Cleveland's on the way. Cleveland. Yeah. Yeah, I used to clean the carpet. A lot of carpet breaks over there. I'll fund your whole network price. You guys have some money. All right, I'll fund you better. Wants everybody to hold it down. You know what I mean? Mr. Trump lives on the other side of that bridge. After he becomes a regular citizen, are they going to shut it all down again every time he moves around?
No idea.
I know when he's been. I know when he's been at Mar-a-Lago, they make you turn around, or if you're gonna go, you have to go through the CIA tent and all that.
Well, everybody knows that because there's signs.
Right, but I'm just saying, are they gonna have it shut down so there's no more northbound there?
So the same answer I just gave you, I have no idea. That's Palm Beach Island Police, or separate. That's a separate police department.
Here comes another group. What? I didn't see the.
Where? Where? Sound like my dog.
Let's start cheering. Come on. Pastor Bob once called me his personal chauffeur. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's happening. I'll get him. I'll get him.
Pretty tall, but not that tall. Hey, listen, please do this story on this stuff. I will. Okay, because if it's true and you do your research, it's true, the world needs to know this.
Well, there you have it, folks. You just saw the President of the United States pass by with First Lady Melania Trump. They were inside the motorcade here, which just is going by. You can see it, actually, if you go down that way. And Don and Eric and all of them are in the cars behind it. So they're all here together as a family as they wrap up their time as the first family of the United States. So truly a honor to be covering this here today, and what you just witnessed was history. So, Grace, that was really amazing. And do you have any final words for us?
Yes, that was amazing. Honestly, I've never seen President Trump come through on a motorcade before. It's the last final moments of his presidency. There's about 38 minutes left until the next administration is inaugurated. But President Trump was glowing. He was glowing, and I don't think I've ever seen him actually that close in proximity to me. I've seen him at a lot of rallies. I've even sat front row, but it's still not as close as this was. So that was very up close and personal in his hometown of Palm Beach County, West Palm Beach. So it is very amazing that I've been honored to be on this campaign trail with Right Side Broadcasting, reporting the truth to you guys. And although it's a very bittersweet day, President Trump will still be with us even after this administration is sworn in. So it is truly an amazing movement, and I'm so grateful to all of our supporters at Right Side Broadcasting. And this certainly won't be the end of our movement. So I am optimistic.
Well, thank you so much, Grace. And of course, thank you to our partners who support us, like Mike Lindell, MyPillow. Be sure to visit mypillow.com, use promo code RSBN, receive up to 66% off your order. As for Grace and I here today, I'm pretty sure that will conclude our time here. The president just passed by in the motorcade, and there is only minutes left here to President Donald J. Trump, the 45th president's term, and certainly a great way to end it here. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, goodbye and God bless.
We're not just any news network. We show the crowd. We show the energy. We show the enthusiasm. We interview people. We show the smiles on everyone's faces as they fill into one of these venues to support their president, to support their values, their beliefs, their flag, their country. We show all of that to you. We bring it right up to you and make it personal, as if you're with us here experiencing it for yourself. This is one of the things that we pride ourselves in doing, is showing you on the ground experience of how people are seeing it and experiencing it for themselves. Just the energy, it's so electric and exciting. People recognize us everywhere we go. We have to stop and take photos. There are thousands of people that come up to us after each event and ask us to keep fighting for them, keep showing the truth. They thank us. They thank us for giving them a voice, because nobody else will give them a voice. Instead, they take who they really are and turn them into something that they're not. They try to say that these are white supremacist gatherings and they're neo-Nazis. They spin all these false narratives, but in reality, there are Filipinos, there are Thai people, they're Chinese, they're Brazilian, they're Cubans, they're Africans, they're Jamaicans, they're Americans. They're people from all over the world, to be honest with you. Everybody supports this president. Everybody supports American ideals of liberty, truth, freedom. We can't thank you enough for supporting us at Right Side Broadcasting.